Let's produce a very simple key fob. So I'm going to go to IQ Designer, and first of all I'm going to pick a shape that I like. So have a look at the shapes, and I'm going to go with a circle. Okay. Now I'm going to change that size and I'm going to bring it right down. I don't want it to be too big because it's a key fob. So you want it to be around about no more than 3 inches. I'm going to do it about 2.5. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to move this down a little bit here. Then I'm going to go into my shapes again, and I am going to select something that I can produce a rectangle from. Obviously a square. I'm going to resize it. I'm going to bring it in. And I generally like to do it about 1 inch. And then I'm going to bring the other part in to about 3 inches. Now I'm going to grab this because it's got the red part around it. Okay. And then I'm going to use a selection key. And then I'm going to put that over the tab. We're going to increase. I'm just going to move that there. And I just want to get it so I can see all the parts. It's probably going to be 2. I'm going to have to do it at about 400. Now we're going to get the eraser tool. I like to do this as a square. And then I'm just going to go along and erase. And I might come in later on a little bit more zoomed. And we can zoom in even more. So it goes all the way up to 800%. And then I can get them other ones erased. Reduce the screen size down. And there we go. We've got the first part of our key fob. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to a straight stitch, change the colour, okay, and I'm just going to press on the bucket, press inside, and I am going to press next. I am going to save that into the IQ Designer. I'm going to preview. I'm going to place that into memory, and I'm going to press home. Now I'm going to press IQ Designer. I'm going to pull up what we did. So that's the first part and set. So I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to have it as a satin stitch. And I'm going to put it as red, so it's just a different colour. And then I'm filled the bucket, and then I'm just going to do that. So then I am going to press next. I'm going to increase the size. I like to do it to about 160, set, save that into IQ Designer, preview, and press memory. And that saves that into the embroidery side of things. So, okay, I'm going to go back again and okay. Okay, let's start bringing everything in. So we're going to press embroidery, and we're going to add our first placement, which is that one. And then I'm going to add I'm not going to move it because then everything will just fall on top then and then set. So that is the placement stitch, tack down stitch. And then what I'm going to do is add, now I know these emojis will actually size down. I'm going to set and I'm going to edit the size, do it with the stitch recalculation and then size it down because it'll pop nicely in there. Then I need to go ahead and add another tack down stitch. And then add the satin stitch. And there we go. So let's stitch this out. Your 5x7 frame is perfect, and I'm going to use some tearaway stabilizer. Run the placement stitch. I got some fairly cheap vinyl off Amazon, and this is how thick it is. I'm going to place that down and making sure that it covers completely over my area. And then when I'm happy, I'm going to place some masking tape. Then I am going to do the tacking stitch. Now go through and do all the steps for the emoji. Once your emoji face is complete, you're going to take it off the machine. You're going to take your second piece of vinyl and you're going to put it over the top, making sure again that you're covering the whole design, and then you're going to secure it with your masking tape. For my satin stitch, I am going to use white. So while our frame is off, make sure whatever colour you're going to use for the top, put the same colour in the bobbin. Place the frame back in your machine, and then you're going to do that tacking stitch. That's going to tack down both of the front to the back together. The next thing you're going to do is run that satin stitch. Remember what I said, make sure what's in your top thread is in your bobbin. So this is now done. I'm going to take it out of the frame. I'm going to cut some of the excess away with some sharp scissors. Now we are going to cut this out, and we're going to cut close to, but we are not going to cut on the stitches. So go around and just be really careful. So there are so many different ways of finishing off a key fob. So I would recommend subscribing to me, and you're not going to miss them. I'm going to cover pretty much all of them. So the next thing I'm going to do is fold this over like so. So we're going to do it in half. And then I have a hole punch here. And I can pretty much get that in the center and create a hole. For this one, I'm going to show you how to do this with cam snaps. So we want our closure to be like this. I always like to double check. I still always get it wrong. So your cam snaps come with two parts. So I'm going to put one of the parts on here. And then there's always a tool that comes with your cam snaps as well. That looks like this. I have done a full tutorial on cam snaps. So don't forget to watch that if you've never used cam snaps before. So, and then basically you push this down and it flattens that bit there, which is this bit there. So then I'm going to, once again, I'm going to check it before I do it. And I'm going to put that piece there. And this piece here. And once again, I'm going to use my tool and apply that cam snap. So just do firm pressure. I needed to make my strap a bit smaller or my keyring to be a bit bigger. But there you go. One cute key fob. And you can also put it on a lobster clip. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe, comment and like, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.